Westbrook Health Services has been supporting the surrounding community since 1949 and is known as an agency that is community-focused, people-driven. As one of West Virginia's 13 comprehensive behavioral health centers, Westbrook provides services to 8 counties throughout the Mountaineer State and became one of the first comprehensive community behavioral health clinics in West Virginia in 2020. This podcast wouldn't be possible without the generous help of the Sisters Health Foundation. This year marks 25 years since the foundation awarded its first grant, and we couldn't be more grateful for their support. Welcome to Studio 2121.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, West Virginia, and welcome. What?
Maybe more than West Virginia.
Like more as in
like I don't know.
America? Universe.
Do you speak Klingon?
No, I do not.
Okay.
But we'll give it a shot. Okay, count me down again.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, Universe, and welcome to the 3rd episode of Hashtag Studio 2121. We are here. My name is Jolie Kernick, and I'm the Chief Operations Officer of Westbrook Health Services.
Phew.
And it is my great honor, like I've been looking forward to this. I've been like rehearsing this in my mind.
Right.
To interview our guest today, Liz Ramsey.
Hi.
Who is the Director of Nursing for Westbrook Health Services.
Yes.
And what does that mean? Director of Nursing.
Director of Nursing.
And not the like healthcare version, like the, because you said the universe is watching. Like, explain it so that like Bob, the accountant in Wisconsin, gets what you mean.
Bob, thank you for asking.
Bob, this is for you.
Thank you. I help the other nurses.
Yeah.
I do some of the admin stuff, but really when my nurses need second opinion, they need something done, they need something translated, or something comes from higher up and down, but I'm the liaison for the nurses. I don't speak Klingon, but I do speak medical.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Klingon might be more interesting.
It might be.
But, whatever.
Goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, hey, do you think they have Klingon on Duolingo? Because I've been hearing about Duolingo a lot, like, recently, and I'm thinking I might learn a new language.
Really?
Yeah, do you think Klingon's on there? I think I'll go for Spanish, actually, but I'm just wondering.
I do think Klingon is on. I think Big Bang made that common knowledge.
Do you think the people in our IT office know how to speak Klingon? We need to ask them.
Yeah, there's got to be one.
Okay, so anyway, back to the story, which is Director of Nursing.
Right. You know that's not my first. That was not my first area.
What do you mean?
I got my bachelor's in something else.
I did know that.
Yeah, so nursing was my second career.
So your first career
was my dad will be happy. Hi, Dad.
Hi,
he'll be
Dad.
Happy to know this.
This is a very proud moment for you, Dad.
Yeah.
Tell me his name again.
Kevin.
Kevin. Hello,
Elephant.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Elephant.
Yeah.
Liz is about to tell a story about you.
Yeah.
So this is your proudest moment, probably, right?
He paid for my undergrad. He said, "What is it?" And I said, "I'm going to get my bachelor's in Parks and Recreation with an emphasis in therapeutic recreation." And he said, "What is that?" And I was like, "I'm going to work maybe in a clinical setting, kind of assisting occupational therapist or physical therapist." He goes, "But what are you going to do?" I go, I don't know, Dad. I'm going to call bingo." And he was like, "Okay. All right." So there's that. So
I bet you're a darn good bingo caller.
I am. I do.
Yeah.
Every time I go to a bingo, because when I was an activities director and I would call bingo, if I didn't call the right numbers, as people were watching their card, they would go, "Shoot the bingo caller." And I worked outside DC. There's a chance they might have shot
the bingo caller. It could have happened.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I'm glad it didn't.
People wanted their quarter, but
it was for a quarter?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in a nursing home.
It's not like purse bingo.
No,
it's just, okay.
no.
Yeah, that's serious.
There's people because that funded their vending machine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But how did you choose Parks and Rec and recreational therapy?
I didn't. I was one of those people. My brother went to college. He knew what he wanted to do. I went to college, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. So the first 2 years, I picked all sorts of majors, and this is what I want to do. No, that's not what I want to do. And my friend Heidi, hi Heidi, she said...
But not Heidi Thomas.
No.
Hi, Heidi Thomas. It's not that she doesn't like you. This is just a different Heidi.
Right. She said if she was a nurse, and she said if I didn't do nursing, I would have chosen this. And I looked at it, and I thought that matches me to a T. So
yeah, well, that makes sense because it's the bringer of fun.
It's the bringer of fun, and that's actually how I met my husband. He had to volunteer for social work. I had to volunteer for Parks and Recreation, and so it was it's what I needed to do at the time. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But in the meantime, it was one of those sort of generic majors. And so you couldn't work part-time or as needed. And I wanted to have kids. So everyone that I would kind of talk to on the side, they said, go be a nurse. So I did.
Wow. So it wasn't like you really like were drawn to the medical field and or what?
I wanted to stay home with my kids.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
but it worked out for you. Do you like being a nurse?
I love the versatility of being a nurse. I love that I can pick up and go anywhere. I choose to be at Westbrook, but
You literally could walk out the door today
Yeah.
and go find a job in 5 minutes
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to work at Westbrook in 2003
Mm-hmm.
as a case manager. When I was in nursing school, Suzanne Evans, my husband had worked at Westbrook.
Okay, so you just embarrassed Suzanne Evans. She's turning red. You can
Sorry.
see it, can't you? Hi, Suzanne. We're talking about you. She's really embarrassed right now.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. Because she hired me. So she said, I'll take...
She's hired you more than once, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. She said, I'll take whatever time you have. I said, I have 2 to 5, Monday through Friday. She said, I'll take it. And so I was a case manager and did whatever I could for her. One of the best bosses I ever had. And
Wait a minute.
Yeah. What? I said one of.
One of. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
I mean, no offense against Suzanne, but like you've had other bosses.
Yeah.
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 It's like Thunderdome. 2 minutes in, 1 minute out.
Wait. What?
Yeah. Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Mad
It's a
Max?
movie.
Yeah.
2 minutes in, 1 minute. What do you mean?
They go into the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
And they fight to the death.
Who am I fighting to the death?
Well, Suzanne for best boss ever.
No, I don't want to fight Suzanne.
I'm just saying.
Would I lose?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I might cry.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
So, anyway,
It's okay, Suzanne. You can have it.
she hired me for that, and then I went off and I became a nurse and worked elsewhere, and then landed back here. So,
Elsewhere. Medical?
yes, the hospital. I did Amedisys Home Health. I did Wood County School System. I did Mid-Ohio Valley Medical Group. All great people. Great people. It's just mental health, substance use. It feels like home.
And so let me ask you about that, because I know I've heard a lot of people in the field, and I think this is probably true for me too, say there's a reason I ended up in this field. There's something that you can pinpoint that drew you to this field, this population, behavioral health. Is that true for you?
No.
Really?
No, it was the people.
It was the people, the coworkers,
What brought
the
me
clients.
back was I knew that the pressure was different. It's not to say that there isn't pressure, but the pressure was different. It's not. It wasn't as clinical. It wasn't as IVs or blood draws or call lights or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was a different kind of pressure, and so more patient interaction. It was really the first time I had a patient load, because even when I worked at the hospital, I was as needed. So I might have the same group of people the second night, but that was rare. So now I have my people.
Yeah, and I've seen you with your people.
Yeah,
And it's really I like watching you with your clients.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
And you don't have favorites, because that's not a thing. But
I do.
yeah. I think I've seen you with 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
So you brought up a good point, which was I don't even remember what it was now, but Director of Nursing is not your only title here.
No.
And perhaps not even your most important title here.
No.
So what other titles?
VP, in charge of morale.
Yeah.
And I've had that title not necessarily just here. I've held it elsewhere.
Yeah.
My dad had
Again, with your dad. Your mom is going to be so jealous.
My mom and dad owned a car dealership.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. You did good.
But my dad would his motto was, can't give you a raise, but I can give you a new title. So he gave me the title of VP in charge of morale, which meant that I was in charge of the Christmas bingo.
And you had been trained in playing bingo, or was this before?
During.
During.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I say that that's possibly more important than director of nursing, although director of nursing is a pretty important title, but because a lot of people here rely on you to bring that.
I will say the nurses are pretty self-sufficient. I start new projects that are introduced to the nurses, but the nurses are pretty self-sufficient. So I would say the VP is probably, and nobody wants to see the director of nursing.
No.
Why is she texting me? Why is she calling me? Why is she emailing me? But VP and charge morale, when I show up, people are happy to see me.
People are happy to see
Yeah.
you. Yeah, but there's a lot of pressure involved in that, right? Because you have to be on all the time. You're the bringer of the happy.
Always.
And particularly the past 2 years, there's been a lot of need for the bringer of the happy. How do you keep that up?
That is second nature to me. It's like breathing. If my brain is wired to just, if I hear this word, it's connected to that, people find that funny. So that, plus you make it till you, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. And so when I see smile in other people, that would inspire me to perk my mood up, because the mood has been low. But you wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell because...
I know. That is a lot of pressure though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you manage your stress and pressure to be able to bring that for other people? I've worried about that before because I've seen you and I feel like that's got to be exhausting sometimes.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some really healthy coping skills. Oreos.
Yeah.
What?
The blonde Oreos, they're not called blonde, they're called golden, or the regular,
I'm
the
just
double
saying,
dipped.
if
I mean,
there's
not
a-
double dipped.
if there's a double stuff.
Double stuff?
Yeah.
Which ones do you like?
I'm not prejudiced.
You like any kind of... Okay.
I accept all Oreos. I especially like free Oreos when they're in a coworker's office. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. I don't keep Oreos in my
I
office.
keep a tremendous amount of candy in my office, but I don't eat it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not Oreos.
Well, I have clients come see me.
You do.
Yeah.
I won't tell that you... Do you give them the candy?
What? No.
No. Okay, good. But, okay, so Oreos, coping
Yeah.
skill. How else do you manage your stress?
Things that bring me joy. How
What-
about
That's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. What brings you joy?
that? If I exercise, very proud of myself. It just happens very rarely. When I have a good day, when I walk away, and my mom now knows my tone of voice, she can tell when I've had a good day. She knows when I've had a really bad day. Scott, my husband, will also...
Hi, Scott.
Hi.
He's the best.
He is. He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't...
He looks like hashtag Jason Bateman.
Really, having a husband that looks like Jason Bateman also brings me joy.
I can imagine that it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's just talk about it.
Okay,
It's
so-
right there. It's like the white elephant in the room. It's
But
in the room.
This represents two things.
Or no,
One,
not the white elephant. It's the elephant.
we'll just say elephant.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
This represents two things.
Two
One,
things.
it's a cup that used to say Diet Pepsi on it.
Yeah.
Now it says EPS because I've carried it so many places.
It doesn't even say diet anymore.
No.
There's no hint of diet there.
No. But the friend that made it for me, we have been friends since eighth grade. At Jackson Middle School. It used to be Jackson Junior High. We met the first day there, and she and I have been friends ever since. And anyway, she knew how much I love Diet Pepsi. She made me this cup, I don't know, like 3-4 years ago. It shows up on Time Hop because I was just so excited to get it. And it's a Yeti cup, so everything stays cold. And I prefer the Diet Pepsi to be cold when it goes in, no ice.
Yeah. No ice.
No ice. I don't know. Maybe it's the Scottish background, the English background. Maybe I just want mine, you know.
What?
Which, by the way, you know how they say to have things at room temperature, they serve their beer room temperature?
Yeah, I did. I've heard that.
But do you know why they say that?
No, why?
Because when beer was in castles, they didn't have central air.
Yeah.
So things were really cold.
Things were really cold.
Yeah, like stone.
Gotcha. Yes.
Right.
It
So-
holds the cold. Yeah.
Exactly. So it is supposed to be cold.
It would be cold.
Yeah.
But that's not true anymore. It's still room temperature.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Diet Pepsi, how much Diet Pepsi do you drink in a day?
Is my doctor watching?
What's your doctor's name?
Dr. Kathy Adkins.
Dr. Kathy Atkins. It's time for you to take a break. Just step out for a minute.
Step
I don't know. Go get a Diet Pepsi.
If I buy them at Sam's Club, I will bring 3 24 ounces to work.
3 24 ounces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
24 and 24 is 48, and 24 is 72.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like it.
And I recognize that when it sits beside me or if it's in the front, I recognize, but you know what? The whole world is all coffeeed up. They're all coffee. They love their coffee. You love your coffee.
I love my coffee.
You get your 4 shots, your 3 shots, whatever. Everybody loves their coffee and it's all culture or whatever. And everybody has coffee. Everyone has free coffee,
Free coffee? I'm going to the wrong place, apparently.
Coffee. You go to a car dealership, they have coffee.
Oh,
The bank sometimes has coffee. Everybody has coffee, Hotels have coffee. Do they have Diet Pepsi? Worthwhile hotels have Diet Pepsi.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, this is a
You
discrimination.
can't always get Diet Pepsi.
There needs to be restaurants,
No, Diet Coke, right?
Yeah.
But it's not the same. You don't like Diet Coke as much. Did we just upset Coke?
Maybe. But I'm just saying that this is going through my blood.
I believe that. I believe that. Well, what about water? Do you drink water?
Okay. I will, one if forced. 2, if there is some on my desk, I would.
You would?
I've gone through phases where I have made the active attempt to do it. It just doesn't bring me the joy.
No. And I think that is important, bringing joy, right?
Yeah.
Because the past 2 years.
Yes, I'll take anything.
Like, I remember, the beginning of 2021, where, I almost said 2121. Hashtag 21 Studio 2121. We're 2020. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Toilet paper, whatever,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. But it's been 2 years.
Do you think that's just because we're looking at the negative now? We're looking for the next negative.
No? What do you mean?
I don't know. I feel like most of my social media focuses on the negative. And then you get your John Krasinski, who does good news from his home. That blew up.
Hi, John. I hope you're watching.
But that blew up. That blew up.
It did.
So I wonder where, I don't know. Are we just being kind of shown the negative? I mean, I know my brain is definitely there.
I have to tell you, there was a period where I was watching the news obsessively. Well, on my phone, like CNN.com, but and waking up in the middle of the night and checking the news, and eventually I had to say to myself, step away.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not on social media much. I'm on social media really, honestly, just to look at dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And the only posts I make at this point are related to an animal rescue where I adopted a dog, and they like to see, where is she now kind of posts. But because I can't take it. It's too much.
You know what would help?
What?
Is if Westbrook, if we could bring our pets to work. I know that we have a therapy dog.
We do have a therapy dog, Dockle.
So
speaking of, because what we didn't mention is this is a thing that we're starting.
Yeah.
We're trying. This is an experiment where we are going to interview different people at Westbrook, kind of to showcase all of the different things that we do, all of the different jobs you could have here. And all of the different people, and show them as real people. And we've talked about maybe interviewing Dockle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess, honestly,
he's so cute.
If Dockle comes, and he is a therapy dog, he has really helped me out on some days. But we'll have to allow him to bring his handler, who is Trish Van. And no offense to Trish Van, but she's no Dockle.
I make sure I always say hi to Trish. And I don't even look at him. Kind of like how if you watch The Dog Whisperer, he will, don't acknowledge the dog, look at the person.
I've never seen that.
Oh, yeah. Because you don't want to pay it.
I break that rule every time.
You do. But I kind of feel like Trish becomes invisible. So I always make sure to say hi to her.
I do feel bad about that.
Yeah.
But when we interview Dockel, she can come with him.
You brought up things that bring me joy.
Yes.
And I will say, I just had a massage.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one way you manage stress.
My girl Sam up at Natural Remedies.
Shout out, Sam,
Hashtag.
Natural Remedies.
Mm-hmm.
Was she good? Is she
so
a good masseuse?
She's so good. And when I show up, sometimes I want to talk, and sometimes I don't. I've had a couple times where it's been a really rough day, and I just didn't want to talk. But you've had a massage. Have you had a massage?
I have.
You know, I was really surprised to know how much they work on your back. Like you lay on your back, and they work on your back. Mm-hmm. I always thought massage, you just, yeah, I was amazed by that.
No, the kind of massages that work the best for me are the really deep tissue massage, because I have I carry stress in certain places in my back, and I need them to get in there and dig it out. Like,
she massaged, like, possibly my kidneys. Like,
really?
She left the skin and the bones, and she went underneath.
Yeah.
And then,
Is it the kind of massage where, like, you're sore the next day, but you needed that?
I had to breathe through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girl knows her stuff.
Her name is Sam.
Sam.
Okay, I'm going to go see her. Sam, I'm going to try and get on your schedule. So that brings you joy.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. Like, I've thought about this a lot recently. Pretty much the entire time I've worked at Westbrook, and maybe kind of my entire working career. I do try to surround myself by things that bring me joy. If you walk in my office, it's very colorful, things hanging on the wall. And I carry it around, all my nails. I get my nails done because it makes me happy. Hey, Jess. Jess from Alley Cat Nail Lounge does my nails. She does an incredible job. See?
I've seen them before.
Right.
Her artwork.
Impeccable, right?
Yeah.
So it is. But you have to make a conscious effort, right, to surround yourself by things that bring you joy. And it's the same with people. Did I ask you why Westbrook? Have I asked you that question? Why Westbrook?
The people.
The people.
Yeah.
And I knew that's what you were going to say.
And the clients are fantastic, but if I had to work with people that I didn't enjoy, I feel like my rowboat is very full of people.
Yeah.
If I need anything, there's a team of people, and I know I can email, text, whatever.
Right.
And
send a message via Teams.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the new thing.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Binge watching.
Well, I'm not done talking about the people.
Okay.
But hold that thought.
Okay.
Because it is important.
Paused.
It does it brings me joy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Paused.
Yeah. Okay. But we'll get back to that. Put a pin in it. I show up every day, and I've said this. I think I accidentally offended someone. Sorry, Heidi. When I said one day, I show up every day because Liz Ramsey is here.
Yeah.
And yes, absolutely. We've talked about that. You're the bringer of joy. It's fun to be around you. But there are other people like that, and a lot of them, really, like most of them. Mm-hmm. In fact, I was part of an interview panel yesterday for a candidate for a new position here, and at the end, when the candidate asks, their questions, whatever, this candidate asked, why Westbrook? And I got very emotional. I went
unexpected.
Yeah, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, right? But
these people are beautiful.
I know. So I was talking about why Westbrook, and for me it's very similar. It's like I feel very passionate about our mission, about the clients we serve. It's like almost like bulldog protection of that mission. But also it is the people.
Yeah.
And I said that to this candidate. I said, it's where I want to be every day. I want to be here.
It's home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's home.
It is. It does. It feels like home. Binge watching.
Oh, back to me.
It brings you joy?
Unpause.
Yeah.
When I get a show.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Last summer, it was recommended to me that I watch One Tree Hill. Is that it? One Tree Hill.
Yeah, you talked about that.
That was like 8 episodes with 23 episodes. I was vested.
Yeah.
I barely saw my family. I was dedicated to the cause. I just watched Euphoria.
I haven't watched that, but
That's a little racy.
Yeah, okay.
That's a little racy.
So not not PG-13.
Definitely not.
Don't let the kids watch it. I'm assuming that's what you mean.
Correct.
No, not for the kids.
And any conservative people don't watch it.
But what is it about binge watching?
I will say that when summertime, that One Tree Hill felt very free. You know, it was just constant, you know, breaking up and romance. Euphoria was angry. It was angry, and I kind of wanted it. Because I'm not that person. I'm not.
Right.
This is not typically of what I would watch. Normally, you know, I'm like, but this was angry, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. Is it a way that you
Courtesy.
Is it a way for you to express your anger?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Courtesy of my daughter Olivia's boyfriend, who logged into our home with HBO. So now I got HBO Max.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he know that?
He does.
Okay.
He does. He said use his account, not his dad or mom's.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to, you know, you mess up people's
Where you are in the season or whatever, which episode you're on. Like it. Yeah, I get it. Oh, I see. Like his profile.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I get that. Binge watching. I do that too.
What are you watching?
Well, actually, what I started last night was something I've watched a number of times, which is Gilmore Girls. Right. Yeah. And I feel like I'm going to watch the whole...
Coffee culture.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, coping skills.
Can we talk about that for a second, though?
Which part? The coffee culture?
Girls.
Yeah. What do you want to say?
You know, we took the trip.
Yeah, you did.
That was one of my I took it with my daughter. We had watched the entire season.
The entire series.
The entire series. Probably more than once. Felt very connected to it, so we drove up to New York. We stayed with my friend Mo, who has
the No Project.
Mr.
She's
Mo
got the
Project.
the dogs.
I love them. So I felt like a celebrity going up to their home, being surrounded by, at the time, I think there were 18, 20 dogs.
It's a lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs, and they were all big dogs. Now they have a lot of little dogs. It's a great, if anyone has an interest in dogs, they're senior dogs or special needs dogs, and they, my goodness, it's a lot of work. They put their whole heart into it. But anyway, we stayed with them, and again, felt like a celebrity. Like, people knew we were staying with them, and it was just, but Mo used to live here. She used to live here and work at Camden Clark. So anyway, stayed with them, and then we did all the towns that the writers based it on, and I'm telling you, it was the best vacation with my daughter.
That's really cool.
It was junior year going into senior year, and it was just the best.
Do you have any pictures?
I have lots of pictures, and with the gazebo. But the town is so precious. It's just eccentric people.
What's it called? It's not called Stars Hollow. In the show, it's called Stars Hollow.
Kent. It's based on Washington Depot, Kent. There's a couple different places that it's based on, but yeah. And then the Mayflower Inn is the Dragonfly Inn. Yeah.
So why do you think? Why do people binge watch? And it's the same with Diet Pepsi. It's like, I guess it's true of any coping skill, right? Moderation, and enough is good, and then too much is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm not one to talk about the healthiest of coping skills. My coping skills would not involve the law. I won't lose family over it, but they're not necessarily healthy. But I do them. Sometimes you just want to check out, and so binge watching.
Right.
Binge watching it. Sometimes you just want to check out.
Do you ever watch reality TV?
No.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, with Road Rules. I watched Real World and Road Rules.
I didn't watch either one of those.
Yeah, that was the original.
Right.
And what it's all based on now. Yeah.
Interesting.
There was no prize. It was just an experiment on MTV.
Right. Yeah, social experiment. See what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe I'll go back. I'm sure you can find all the episodes and things.
I think what you would see is, the fashion alone.
Yeah.
Right. And where are they now? Yeah. It's the best noise.
Yeah, that noise brings you joy.
It does.
Yeah. That noise brings you joy. Is that part of it too? Because people talk about, like, it's not just the thing, it's it's all the pieces of it.
I've had these where I've opened them up and they've been still for hours and then it explodes everywhere.
So I have a question for you because I'm thinking about it. You and I watched parts of the second episode of Studio 2121 yesterday when Kevin was interviewing Britton, and Britton was talking very openly about his struggles with addiction, alcoholism, and when I talked about just now the noise, that's true also when people have substance use disorder. There are certain things. It's not just the actual use of the drugs. It's the things that go along with it.
Yeah.
The habit that I don't know, maybe you use while you're smoking and then later the smoking becomes the trigger. Like if you were addicted to Diet Pepsi, if that were a thing, that noise would maybe be a trigger for you. And it's interesting to me, I just thought about it now, when you did that. My grandmother used to say this, and I don't think I recall her ever saying it, but my dad would refer to it. There, but for the grace of God, go
Yeah.
I.
Yeah.
And I think about that. I think that in a lot of ways I'm very, very fortunate. But that Britton story, it could have been your story. It could have been my story.
Yeah.
But for you, it's Diet Pepsi.
Which I'm thankful that it's that.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful I didn't have a lot of stuff introduced to me because to have discipline.
Right.
I had discipline a couple of years ago, did a couple of half marathons. I was focused on walking.
Yes.
And because I would walk, I was thirsty, and so I would drink the water, and I want it back. But I did Weight Watchers.
Right.
I loved it all the time. It takes work.
It does.
The switch was turned on, and I loved it, and then I let it go. Because I think when I was watching Britton, complacent.
He said that,
yeah,
and you
no.
brought that up.
Yeah.
You related to that.
Yeah.
Which I totally get too. Like, right? It's like, and I have to work really hard to, I lost weight, and then the first year of the pandemic I did great, and then the second year I started stress eating. That's one of my bad coping skills, and I've put some of it back on. I'm trying to get back into the habit of doing the right things. The things that I know I'm supposed to do. And when I've not been doing them and I think about, oh my God, now I've got to do those things, like go to the gym, then I think, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I noticed last night, even at lunch yesterday, like, there was the opportunity. I could have ordered some junk food or something, but I didn't. I brought a salad and I was eating it and I was like, oh, I just brought the best food today. Like, I love it. But then when I get away from it, I forget how much I love the food that I make for myself when I'm really making good choices. It's the same with the gym. I noticed yesterday I had a few sore muscles, not overly sore, just a little sore, and I thought, I really like the way this feels. It feels accomplished, right? But, I could easily go home tonight and sit on the couch and not go to the Y.
And not remember how good it felt.
Why is that?
I was thinking I'd really love to get back. Westbrook has the cheaper membership.
Right.
Group membership,
Yes,
which
yes.
is great. My son swims at the Y. He lives at the Y. My husband is there 5 days a week in the morning. My daughter swam there when she lived here. And then there's me. At certain points I was committed and then I wasn't. But I have to say that in order for me to get back there, it takes the effort. And my mind is starting to think, maybe we could do the effort. But I literally have to find the shoes, the socks that I like with them, the leggings that fit, the t-shirts that I am comfortable wearing.
Right.
Where, when you lose all the weight, you have all sorts of clothes, and then you put the weight back on, and you don't have the clothes. So it just feels like little obstacles just the whole time. So
And so it's interesting.
I really need a personal assistant and a chef.
That would make life so much easier, right?
It really would.
Yeah. Let's work on that.
Okay.
But in the meantime, like when you talk about that, the choice, all the little choices every day, I've heard people say that about recovery, that you choose it every day, and not just every day, sometimes every minute, every hour. And I relate to that. Yeah. But
It's effort.
It is, but I don't want to ever like undermine someone's struggle by
I heard a comedian maybe 2 weeks ago where he was talking about addiction, and some guy approached him and said, "Oh man, I totally know I'm addicted to the gym," and he said, "Really, has the gym made you lose your family, your job, and spend some time in jail?"
Right.
So I'm very mindful of that I say I have an issue with, but I recognize addiction is, but people say food addiction or whatever. I mean, the brain works the way it works. It's just my choices won't lead me to jail.
Right.
They lead me to...
And again, there but for the grace of God. Mm-hmm. And I feel so strongly about that. It's, I feel like it's a core of my personal spirituality. It goes along with, like, I feel like I tried to teach my children that anything you have, mm-hmm. whether it be time, whether it be patience, whether it be a skill, that is a gift.
Yeah.
You were not owed that. That was a gift, and it is your responsibility to share that. And I think that, yeah, that's so important.
Yeah.
Why are we here?
Why are we here? Frankly, to entertain. I'm entertained.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
Sorry,
if anybody.
viewers.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if y'all are entertained. We're entertaining ourselves, which is just great. But I think it's an important part of, like, again, joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it brings someone else joy. But let's go back to this. Did I mention that our idea is to call this Spill the Tea?
Yeah, what is
with
it?
Liz and me.
There are many times in my life where I go, yeah. And then I go, I don't know what that means. What is T? Is that trouble? T for trouble rhymes with P, stands for pool? What is that?
Can you sing that?
Capital P.
No, sing it.
I know.
We've got trouble right here in River City.
With a capital P.
No, capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. That's awesome. Okay, so I only know things because I have kids that are like, around 20-ish years old. And so, honestly, I don't know where it came from, spill the tea, but I just know it means talk about the story. Talk about I don't want to say gossip, because that's not what we'll be spilling. Yeah. It'll just be, what's the story there? I don't know why it's spill the tea. We'll have to Google that.
So it doesn't have anything to do with Kermit the Frog?
Kermit the Frog? No, I don't.
That's not my business. You know that.
That meme.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite memes.
I don't know. I really don't know. But I feel like...
And when I mentioned it was one of my favorite memes,
uh-huh.
My social media became flooded with them because I love it.
Like your phone was listening to you?
No, people were posting them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's so strange though, right? Because do you ever feel like your phone is listening to you? Like you say something and then all of a sudden that pops up everywhere on your phone?
Yeah.
That's very creepy.
Heidi Thomas just told me that,
Hi, Heidi.
that we were talking about something, I think, on a management call, and her phone, produced an advertisement for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about this little experiment we're doing called Spill the Tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we mentioned it in a meeting, and someone had the idea of merch, which, even merch, that's another one, right? Like, you have kids around this age, right? You learn the things from the kids, right?
Yeah.
Merch. Yeah. Merch. What's that?
No, it was Olivia that told me to bring my cup here.
I know.
Bring my cup.
Because we're
Diet Pepsi.
We're gonna hashtag Diet Pepsi. We want some sponsors here. I mean, you and I find ourselves hilarious. Do you think other people do? I don't know. But again, we're here for
I think people find us funny.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. We're funny enough for each of us. We have some friends that might watch. You have a lot of friends.
I have friends that would, especially people that haven't seen me a long time. When you haven't seen people for a long time, you forget their voice, and you forget just the inflection and whatever. So,
yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So Spill the Tea, merch.
That's hashtag.
Hashtag.
I don't use it appropriately. I'm like a grandma that found out. That's not how any of this works.
I know.
Yeah, but I do. I love. Yeah.
Right. So we know a couple of the lingo, but we don't maybe know why.
Right.
I want to say maybe my daughter explained it to me once, but I can't remember. I just remember spill the tea.
Yeah.
It's like the same. Like, have you ever heard anyone say, like, someone will say, "Oh, I'm so tired this morning. I stayed up watching." Same. People say same. I love that one. I picked that one up. I like it. It makes sense, though. It's not like you have to have someone explain that one to you.
And do you think that started as a culture thing?
I'm assuming so. Like, we had our things in the 80s, right? We're the same age, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little older, but, right? What?
Significantly.
just a few years older. What were the things we had in the 80s that were like...
Valley Girl.
Oh my God, that was just ridiculous. Did you
And
watch
then-
that movie, Nicolas Cage? Wasn't it Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, it was totally.
Yeah.
But then after that came Clueless, and that was still kind of in our.
I was older then.
You were older, but
Yeah.
it was on the fringe. It was a little. I was a little old for it, but enough that I.
So our pop culture came from movies, like our things.
Oh, yeah.
Is that true of this generation? I don't know. They have so many, like TikTok, all that.
Yeah, memes.
Yeah, memes. I don't know where
Said Grandma.
Yeah. I know what a meme is.
Said the old lady.
But there again, like for the longest time, I was like, a meme? What is a meme?
Yeah.
Where did that word come from? Why does that word represent? I don't get it.
What's the word people aren't sure how to pronounce? What is that?
I don't know what you mean.
It's not a well.
Does it start with meme? Does it have meme in it?
No. I'll think of it. All I can think of is gyro, hero, gyro right now. But there's a
Not Euro?
a GIF.
Oh, a GIF.
GIF.
Is it a GIF or a GIF?
It's a gyro. I don't know.
But that's where meme came from?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, I guess it doesn't matter.
I usually say if it's something I say.
Do you
it's
think
a
our
meme.
kids are laughing at us because we like say the things, but we don't even say them in the right context? I know. I used to laugh at my mom about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would apologize to her, but you know.
I was having lunch with my girls, and the new phrase came out. On point. On the point.
No, on point. Yeah, your eye makeup is on point or on fleek.
Fleek.
What the hell? Oh, sorry. Oh, I accidentally cursed. Can we bleep that? Bleep, bleep. I'm actually proud of myself that like that's the only bleep because I mean we know I unfortunately have a lot of curse words in my vocabulary, but I justify that. But have you ever seen any of those studies that say that
Those were written by cussers.
were they?
Yeah.
The ones that say that using curse
Foul
words
language makes you smart. You're smarter.
It's a sign of intelligence. So you don't think it's a sign of intelligence?
No.
It's a yeah.
No.
Okay.
Maybe it's out of frustration. If you're smarter, you're frustrated with people around you, and you're like,
Oh, that does happen to me.
see, I didn't used to be a cusser. I'm a cusser now. I know. I'm not proud of it.
Did that come from me? Did I
don't know.
give you
Maybe-
that bad habit?
Maybe I've gotten smarter since I've been at Westbrook.
That's possible. Probably. I mean, you spend a lot of time with me. I think that maybe, wears off. I will say, someone else that I've noticed has cursed a lot more recently than I noticed he used to. Corey Carr. And I feel really bad, like maybe he picked that up from me.
Yeah, you're
Do you
spreading.
think he did? It's bad.
You're spreading
Can you
like
put me on a
COVID.
sticker chart when my kids were younger? Like I don't know.
How about
maybe
you put money in a jar, and then we can all take a vacation on you?
Yeah, it'd be enough for all of us to go
Yeah.
on vacation.
Yeah.
Every time if I had to put even a penny, every time I cursed, like we'd be rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. What else you got?
Well, okay. So I've been planning this podcast in my head for weeks.
Yeah.
And I was very worried that I would show up here today and it'd be like the little frog, the Warner Brothers frog in the box, where like he's
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
And
Hello,
that-
my right down gal.
and then he brings it out in front of the audience, and then it's like, ribbit, right?
Yeah.
Is that happening here?
I don't think so, because I think we're just chitter chatter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is that significant? Are we doing something significant here? I mean, it serves a purpose,
I
right?
wanted to do a podcast to
Yeah.
do chitter chatter.
Yeah.
If you give me questions on the spot, I probably will become the frog of it. But for chitter chatter,
Just
yeah, I'm good to
conversation.
go. Like you talk about movie, talk about
Yeah, I'm excited about, like, we have plans to interview certain people, and I think it is important that we do want to know about them, why they're here at Westbrook,
Right.
what they do, but also what makes them real people, because
Right.
in the end, we're real people.
Yeah.
I think we are anyway, I don't know.
Let me ask you something.
Okay, yeah.
If you were a superhero, who would you be?
Like, could I be a villain?
Yeah.
Well, I just saw Batman. Did you see Batman?
I haven't seen it yet.
It was really
Did you
good.
go to the theater?
Yeah, I did go to the
What?
theater. I know. It is a little awkward. Like, I don't know if it's time yet to be doing that kind of thing out in public again. It feels weird. Like
That movie is huge.
it is.
Thank you, Robert
And
Pattinson.
he did a good job. I felt like he was
You know,
kind of brooding.
He was in another movie, a series called Twilight.
Yeah,
a little,
just
movie.
a little.
Yeah.
I read the books.
Uh-huh.
I didn't watch the movies. Should I go back and do that?
I'd skip the first one, but 2, 3, 4.
Really?
Great.
So you were Team
I was-
Edward?
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Jacob.
Jacob. You were not Team Jacob.
I don't know. He does the imprint thing that kind of creeped me out. But Edward, again, as a 17-year-old girl, I would love to have some boy totally in love with me.
That was a vampire?
Yeah. Would it creep me out that he was in my bedroom watching me sleep? Yes.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Was that the vampire or was that the werewolf?
That was a vampire.
Okay.
Would it creep me out that
Does part of you want to be a vampire? There's
No. I think that eternal love is what got me. But then everyone with like a reasonable mind was like, it's totally creepy. Like,
did you
would
read?
do a file, or you would file a restraining order on the guy. I'm like, yeah, maybe.
Not in a book though. So let me ask you this: did you read the series, the Anne Rice series that started with Interview with a Vampire?
I saw the movie. I'm typically a movie girl.
You're the movie, not the book.
Yeah. I mean, I did Silence of the Lambs. I thought the book was better than the movie, and the movie was amazing. Amityville Horror, read the book, thought it was better than the movie, but typically I'm a movie girl.
That was a good series. In my mind, it was a good series,
Yeah.
but maybe it was just the time of life that I read it that I found it very good. So anyway, superhero. Yeah, I enjoy superhero movies.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't know that I know enough superheroes and like what they stand for by name to pick one that I would want to be, other than just like, what comes to mind because I've seen it the most.
And Batman has gadgets.
Yes.
Yeah.
And gadgets are cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what superhero would you be?
I mean, I love Black Widow. The girl can move.
Mm-hmm.
She's got mad skills. Her upbringing was really poor. I couldn't handle that. But if I could just be end result.
But
she does die in #spoiler. She does die in Endgame, which I hate. Yeah.
Isn't that part of what makes a superhero? Is something in the tragic? There's a tragedy there. There's a
And
Yeah.
I mean, even Spider-Man, who is so sweet and innocent,
Right.
lost his parents,
right.
and Uncle Ben.
Yeah, there's some trauma there.
Yeah.
All superheroes,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have that trauma-filled life.
No, you don't.
No.
No.
And I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah. I get that. So that's, and we may have talked about this already, but I feel the need to go back to it. You hear people say a lot, I'm in this field for a reason. I was drawn to this field for a reason, and maybe they mean something in their past, something in their family, something that they encountered in life that they feel drawn to come here and give back, or I don't know, even maybe rework. Is that true for you?
No. No.
No.
Yeah, I tell my parents they really didn't give me much adversity growing up. They didn't give me any trauma. They didn't give me, they gave me a golden life.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Which I completely grateful for. But my a lot of times you don't feel like you have street cred.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but to say, yeah, it actually makes me a little emotional. They gave me 100%.
Yeah. The Oliphants. Y'all
Yeah.
are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can they adopt me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like being adopted by them.
Is your college covered?
Yeah, it's all paid for.
Okay.
Yeah, it's done.
Great.
No,
they'll take you.
Would that have been a deal breaker?
I don't know. It's just complicated. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I got monthly payments and whatever. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what about your kids? Would they say the same?
I'm not sure yet. I just sent them a meme. Every Saturday night I try to watch at least 5 minutes of Lawrence Welk. And so,
Really?
Yeah. I love it. Their costumes and it's just, and the music, and there's some lady that totally jams out on a piano that's, you could tell it was made in the 70s, it's just maybe late 60s. It's just great.
I've never watched Lawrence Welk.
Well,
Wait, what does this have to do with the fact that whether or not your kids would say
because
that
I made them watch it with me.
you did?
Yeah, and it said, you may have had hardships growing up, but your parents never made you watch Lawrence Welk. So I sent that to them. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I made them watch that.
You didn't answer the question.
I think they would say that they had a pretty good, but they're still in it.
Yeah, true. I think they would too, though, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cardi methodically, faithfully, every time he gets out of the car, thank you, I love you. Every night comes down, he just makes sure that
He's a sweet boy.
He makes sure that he knows we are loved. That we know that we are loved.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got a big swim meet. He's there now.
Is he winning, you think?
I hope he's winning all the things.
He's a swimmer.
Yeah.
And he's young, right, to be doing as well as he's doing?
Yeah.
And you're not proud at all. There's no glow in your smile in your eyes.
I have wanted to wear his medal. He hasn't offered it up yet. He got a medal for high school swimming. And then he's doing club swim right now. So.
Yeah, he's a shark.
And Olivia's coming home this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, for spring break.
Baby girl.
I went to Jamaica. She comes home.
You went to Jamaica?
Oh, yeah.
How'd you finagle that?
If you remember the storm of 93.
Wait, here?
Yeah.
I wasn't here.
You were in Texas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the storm of 93.
Right.
So.
What kind of storm?
A snowstorm.
Okay.
Yeah, and it
over
was,
spring break?
Yeah. Yeah, it was huge. I mean, there was feet of snow here.
Oh, God.
And Mid-Ohio Valley doesn't get that. We had such a snowstorm. So we left Morgantown. We drove over to Baltimore.
Who's we?
It was me and my roommate, Valerie.
Okay.
We had several sorority sisters going, but she was my person. And we, thank goodness, another sorority sister's family lived in Baltimore and said, a storm is coming. Well, we didn't have Weather Channel. We didn't have...
There was no... You couldn't have looked it up on your watch.
Right. Somebody was listening to something.
Yes.
And so they got us a hotel room by the airport. And so Val and I stayed there the night, and our other sorority sister stayed in another room. And we had just the most delightful night. It was just the two of us, and we had a very civilized...
Stayed up talking.
Yeah.
There was no alcohol involved.
No snow. Actually, we were underage. So there was in Jamaica. That's a different story. But at the hotel, no. Very civilized. There was no snow on the ground. We woke up the next morning and it was blanket white. Now, certain people in this room are from Colorado, and they know snow. It's not you.
No, it's not me.
So it was real snow. And so the next morning we get up. All of us, we didn't get rid of our hotel room, and we went to the airport, and there were thousands of college kids ready to go. Places,
yeah.
Not going to happen. So we all the sorority sisters came back to our room, and what was civilized now looks like where the boys are circa 1960, whatever.
Oh, God.
And so, whatever, the next day we flew out, we went to Jamaica, and I'm telling you what, that was such a great...
You were able to fly out?
Yeah, the next day.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was cliff diving, there was snorkeling, there was major burns. I had such burns and...
Sunscreen, you've got to use the sunscreen. That really worries me.
That was 1993.
We didn't know, right? We didn't know then. They didn't
Yeah.
even sell sunscreen like they do today.
No.
It's all suntan oil then.
It's spring break.
How did we not know that?
I don't know.
But sunburns are the worst.
Yeah, but in 1993...
Were you miserable?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
not miserable. It's not so miserable that you didn't enjoy spring break.
I did enjoy it. I had some sweaters with me that I got when I was in Australia back again in college that I left there.
Oh.
I know. I still remember that because I was so burned. I couldn't pack my bag. Val had to pack my bag, and she didn't realize sweaters were there. And this lady at the poolside saw me, and she said, "You're burned," and I said, "Yeah," in a Jamaican accent, whatever. And so she said, "I'll take care of that." And so I'm like, and here are all these college kids, and I'm not, owning this pool. I don't know these people that well at all. And so she comes over, and all of a sudden she starts ripping open an aloe leaf and
okay. I thought you were going to say something else.
On me, and I'm like not comfortable with my body, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
And this stranger is...
Yeah, and then she goes, $5.
Oh my God.
It just assaulted me. And now you wanted...
Did you have $5?
I did, and I gave it to her.
You were a college student on spring break. What? I just spit at you, and I'm really sorry about that. Did you notice?
Okay. No, I didn't notice.
All right,
but
good.
yeah, anyway, so yeah. That was a great trip. All in one year, I went to Jamaica and I went to Australia.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm listening to a book now that's based in Australia, and I listen to books on Audible on my way to and from work and different places, and the person reading it has an Australian accent. It's interesting.
Audio. Okay. Where? We're in Australia.
Sydney.
Okay. I am amazed at how big it is.
Really?
The globe does not...
Doesn't do it. Like, compare it to something.
United States. United...
Wait a minute, we're getting some sort of signal and I really don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
Oh, it's time for us to wrap it up.
Okay,
Oh
well-
my goodness. We could have sat here all day.
We could have.
But, sneak preview.
Okay.
That we will be doing more Spill the Tea with Liz and me. So stay tuned for another episode. We have some possibilities for who we'll be interviewing.
We have a lot of entertaining people.
Yeah. So, but we haven't exactly decided on one yet for the next one. So, thank you so much for tuning in with us.
And Chelsea,
Hashtag
please feel free to edit all
Studio 2121 from Westbrook Health Services.
of this. Brought to you by Diet Pepsi.
Oh, before I leave.
yeah.
Diet Pepsi. Speaking of Diet Pepsi, this is for you. Look at that. Look at that. These are going to be like our staple when we do the next show. You guys will see these. We'll be drinking out of them.
I love it. Joy.
Bye.
Bye.
Until we meet again, take care of yourself.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.